The company that wins the AI race, it probably won't have the best algorithm. It'll be the one that thought to order a power transformer back in 2022.
And most people hear that and go, okay, what? But that's actually the whole game right now.
So let's back up. We're in this moment where everyone is racing to build AI infrastructure: data centers, GPU clusters, the whole thing. And the assumption is that the bottleneck is compute, like who can get the most chips.
Right, which is already a real bottleneck. NVIDIA's backorder situation
Was brutal, yeah. But here's what we kind of missed: there's another bottleneck that's actually harder to solve: power delivery.
Specifically, high voltage transformers.
Exactly. The big ones. The kind that take electricity from the grid and step it down so a data center can actually use it.
And when I say big, I mean these are not the transformers on a telephone pole. We're talking about units that weigh hundreds of tons, that are custom built, that have a lead time of, depending on who you ask,
144 weeks. That's the number that's been floating around, which is, that's nearly 3 years. Nearly 3 years from we want one to it shows up. Yeah. So here's the thing that I find genuinely wild about this: the transformer manufacturing industry, it never really scaled up for this moment. And the reason is kind of counterintuitive.
because demand was supposed to be declining.
Right. For years, the story was that we're getting more energy efficient: smarter grids, better insulation, LED everything. Utilities were modeling flat or shrinking electricity demand.
So manufacturers aren't going to invest in new capacity if demand is flat.
Exactly. And then AI happens. And suddenly you have hyperscalers showing up saying, we need to build like a gigawatt of data center capacity by next year, ideally.
Right, no pressure.
And the manufacturers are like, we have a list.
So, okay, walk me through the actual supply chain here, because I think this is where it gets really interesting. These transformers, they're not, it's not like spinning up a new factory is easy.
No, it's so the core issue is a few things stacked on top of each other. One, the raw materials. Grain oriented electrical steel, that's the specific type of steel used in the core of a transformer. There are only a handful of producers globally.
And it's not interchangeable with regular steel.
Not at all. It's more like a precision material than a commodity. The grain structure in the steel affects how efficiently magnetic flux moves through it. So you can't just substitute. Right. Two, the manufacturing itself is mostly custom. Every large transformer is kind of a one off, built to spec for a specific site, specific voltage requirements, which means you can't just stockpile them. You can't just stockpile them. And three, and this is the part that I think gets lost: the workforce. The people who wind transformer coils, who do the high voltage insulation work, this is specialized craft knowledge. You can't train that up in 6 months.
Okay, but hold on. So this is interesting because this means the moat isn't a technology moat. It's not a patent, it's not an algorithm.
It's a calendar mode. It's literally just who ordered first, who had the foresight, or honestly, sometimes who got lucky to put in an order before the queue exploded. And some of these hyperscalers, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, they were making these infrastructure investments, like deep infrastructure investments, years before the ChatGPT moment. So when everyone else woke up in late 2022, early 2023, going, we need to build, the queue was already years long. And catching up isn't a matter of money. You can't throw cash at a 144-week lead time. Uh, well, you can try. You can try. Some companies are paying significant premiums for any available inventory. There have been acquisitions of transformer companies just to get priority access. Which is, I mean, that tells you everything. When you're buying a manufacturer to skip the line, you're not competing on technology anymore. You're competing on supply chain strategy. And I think the bigger implication here is that this reshapes how we think about what infrastructure advantage means in tech. Because we've always talked about it in terms of software, network effects, data flywheels, developer ecosystems. And those still matter. But looping back to what you said earlier, the calendar moat thing, It suggests that for the next decade, physical infrastructure might be the differentiator. Not in a boring CapEx way, but in a genuinely strategic way. The companies that modeled what if AI demand is 10 times bigger than we think and ordered accordingly are now sitting on years of runway that competitors literally cannot buy their way out of it. It's the boring version of a superpower. It really is. And the other thing, this has implications for energy policy, for grid investment, for domestic manufacturing, because right now, the US is heavily dependent on imported transformers. And that's a national security conversation that's starting to happen. Just starting to. Just starting to. Okay, the unsexy stuff wins again. The unsexy stuff always wins. I'm Nova, and I'm Alex.
And this is Code and Cosmos.